Hey love, so today we're going to do my top 5 Makeup Revolution palettes. These are all eyeshadow palettes. I thought I would share them with you. I feel like I need to break it down a little more. I've done a top Makeup Revolution product video before. I plan to do kind of broken up, like my favorite lip products, my favorite eyeshadows, and so on, because there are a lot of different things. These are all palettes though, so I wanted to share with you the top 5 that I like from Makeup Revolution. They really are great at making palettes. They are all super affordable. Not a single one of these is going to be more than like $13. I think $12.88 or something like that is what they'll translate to, the more expensive ones. And some of these are even like only $7. Yeah, so let's jump right in. I can do them in order. I think I have enough of an order that I can do them in order. I'm going to start with number 5. So still one of my favorites, but probably my least used out of my favorites, if that makes sense. So Mermaids Forever, I actually still have the case just because I think it's really pretty. The case, the box, you know what I'm saying? Because all of the actual packaging on a lot of these look exactly the same. So this is the Mermaids Forever palette. It's got the format of the 32 eyeshadows. What I love about this one is there are neutrals and also nice pops of color. I do have a pretty colorful tutorial from this palette on my channel, so I will try and link that down below. If not, just check out my Makeup Revolution playlist, which will for sure be linked down below, because I have a lot of Makeup Revolution videos, so if you're curious. This one I don't believe you can buy at Ulta in the US, but you can order it from the UK website. I purchase everything from the Makeup Revolution UK website because you can get so much more. So much more. Their selection is huge. Why don't we go through really quick a few of the frequently asked questions. It's $12 to ship from the UK to the US. You can convert all of your prices into US dollars on the website. It takes about 2 weeks to ship. You will have to be patient. I have some stuff that's been on its way for about 3 weeks, but I did order around Christmas. It was during when they kind of took a break and they had an abundance of orders. So I'm patiently waiting. This is the first time where I've been like, where's my stuff at? Gotta be patient. It's not their fault, but I just want my stuff. And I ordered highlighters, like that new illuminator. Oh, it looks so good. And I just want it now. Highlighters are my thing. Anyway, it's makeuprevolutionstore.com. Again, they ship pretty much anywhere in the US. So this one is the Mermaids Forever palette. Super colorful, but it's got those nice kind of oranges and reds that I love. Clearly. There's definitely hits and misses in here. They aren't all perfect. There's enough that are pigmented enough that, you know, I'm definitely content with it. Like some you're going to have to work a little harder with, but they're still really pretty shadows, and for the price, the color range that you get is really good. So I love this one. I honestly don't reach for it every day just because there's so much color in it, but you can easily look at all these browns and these grays. Like you can easily get a very neutral look or a nice warm look with these guys. So really enjoy this one. This one is one of the more expensive ones, but again, still really affordable. All right, now we're going to talk about the Iconic One. This is a dupe of the original Naked palette. It has the same shadows, literally. I've done videos on comparing the dupes. Again, those will either be linked down below or just check out the Makeup Revolution playlist that I have linked down below, so you can check that out. I just watched them side by side. You will be able to see if they are exact. This one I reach for a decent amount just because there's a few in here that I reach for much more often, and I'm always using other makeup, but this is probably my second most used. This would be number 4 on the top 5. Really enjoy this palette. This one I think you might be able to get at Ulta. I'm not 100% sure. If it is, I'll try and link it down below. So if you are in the US, this will be a definitely much easier one for you to get. Hopefully they will expand that collection because from what I've heard, it's done really well. I would love for there to be a much larger selection. But again, I'm a slave to that UK website because it's always going to have everything first. But yes, really beautiful palette. I'm not going to swatch too much because there is a whole video on it. Yeah. Definitely a warm shadow palette. Again, if you are more of a cool girl, you can get the Iconic 2. If you want the rose tones, get the Iconic 3. They have a couple other ones that aren't even dupes in the same format. I'm not a huge fan of the way these pans are just because they're so skinny, and to get like a big fluffy blending brush, sometimes my E40 will cross over into the next shade. But it's not a deal breaker. That's what I'm trying to think. It's not a deal breaker. But this is a great palette. Again, it's around $7, and if you're in the US, you can get it. The last few you're not going to be shocked at all. Not going to be shocked at. You're probably sick of hearing about these. This one is the Flawless Matte palette. I went through a phase of using this every single freaking day, and you can only really see wear on one. I was obsessed with this shade in my crease. Oh my goodness, this was my transition shade. I was obsessed. Beautiful rosy tone, very neutral palette, all matte. So if you're looking for a good matte neutral palette, here you go. Like the only downside is the pans are really tiny, but I don't have a problem with getting my brush in there because they are round instead of rectangles. Fits just nicely in there. I love the shade. Perfect. They are pigmented. They are matte. Again, there's going to be hits and misses in every single palette. I can't even remember a time where I was using this and I was like, oh no. So really love this palette. It has nice cool tones. It has warm tones. It has rosy tones. So a great matte palette. If you're looking for a good matte palette, you have 32 shades in there. Given a lot of them are very similar, like you can see, like all of these shades are very similar. But what's interesting is a lot of them look different on the eye. They look really similar in the pans, but there is a nice variety in there, and there's some that you're going to love more than others. But again, 32 shadows. I also really love the Flawless palette. So that one's got shimmers in it too. So if you don't want just the solid matte palette, go for the Flawless palette. It's just as good. I just have used this one a little more. So I feel like that's why it falls into the top 5 and that one doesn't as much. But it's good. So the last two, again, you're not going to be surprised. I'm going to go with the one that I've had a little less just because I use them both all the time. All the time. So I just haven't had this one as long as I've had the other one. I love it so much. I just filmed a video comparing it to the Venus palette. I have this on one of my eyes. I am obsessed. This is the Makeup Revolution. Of course, Makeup Revolution. This is top Makeup Revolution palettes. Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. It is the one that is the dupe of the Venus, where it's got all the reds and the oranges. What I love about this one is you have this side where it's like red, orange. And then there's the side where it's like nice and cool tone, but there's a little bit of rose in there, nice bronze. If you want a smoky eye, this is going to be a great palette to get a smoky eye, either a red smoky eye, an orange smoky eye. A cool tone smoky eye, you can get a warm tone smoky eye. That's what I love about this palette. There is not a single dud in here. The only one, when I compared it to the Venus palette that wasn't as good in pigmentation, was this one right here, but it's just a little more fair. It's a little lighter. You just need to pack on a little more. But it's a great palette, really good, love it. You can definitely see the indents in all of these shadows. I am not lying with this one. This one has definitely gotten a ton of love since I've had it. This one is definitely an everyday palette for me right now. I love using reds. I love using oranges, like burnt orange, burnt red. Still all about it. Not over it. I'm gonna wear it as much as I can. But yes, love this palette. Great pigmentation. Everything about it is spot on. Anyway, so again, that's Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. Check that baby out. All right, and last but not least, I know you guys are so shocked. I bet you're like incredibly shocked because I talk about this palette all the time. This is the Naked Chocolate palette from iHeart Makeup, which is a part of Makeup Revolution. If you go to the Makeup Revolution website, just find the iHeart Makeup part, and I don't know if you can see this at all, but the logo's on the back. And you will find all of their chocolate palettes. They have dupes of the original chocolate bar palette from Too Faced and the Salted Caramel palette. Again, I have a dupe video on that one as well. All right, people have mentioned this one being a dupe of the Naked 3 palette. It is similar, but I feel like a lot of the browns are a little more red toned, so it's a little more up my alley. There's nice rose golds. It's very rose gold. It's very pink and toned. It's very red and toned. If you aren't into that, you might not want this palette. You might want to go with a different one. But if you are, this is good. This one makes a beautiful highlighter as well. So it's kind of universal, which is nice. You'll be able to see like the nice sheen that gives. Yeah, definitely well loved. Definitely a great palette. I can't praise this one enough. It's so good. This shade right here, all about that life. All about it. I know that there are videos mentioning or swatching all of these palettes on my channel. That's why I'm not going to go through and swatch every single one. But really beautiful. This one, oh, this rose gold. Like, look at that. They are the kind of shadows that are a bit crumbly, but that once you like blend them in and pack that pigment down, they're going to get really beautiful. Super good. And I love, this is the matte highlight shade in the palette, the other big one, and that one's just a beautiful, you're not going to be able to see it very well, but it's nice and buttery. It's a great brow bone highlight. Just the pigment on these, it's just amazing. Like, you can't beat these palettes for the price. I have eyeshadow all over me. It looks like my hand is incredibly dirty. I promise you it's eyeshadow and lipstick. Yeah, beautiful palette. Love it so much. All right, loves, well, that completes my top 5 Makeup Revolution palettes. What do you guys want to see next? Let me know what Makeup Revolution top 5s you would like to see. I am going to do Colourpop top 5s as well. I just need to decide. It's really hard to pick my top 5s. This one was pretty easy because there's a lot that I use a lot more than others. I honestly have some Makeup Revolution palettes that I haven't even used. If you guys want a full like swatch review of some of these, I know that I have a review of this one. I have one of this one now. I have a tutorial on the Mermaids Forever palette and the Icon one. So if you want one on like the Flawless Matte or the Flawless palette, those 32 shadow ones are kind of intimidating because that's a lot of swatches. But if you guys want to see it, just let me know. I need to do some more. I have all of this Makeup Revolution stuff, and I feel like I've just kind of gotten distracted, not done enough videos. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you want more Makeup Revolution videos, then please share it if you could, because as always, it does help me out so, so much. And I think that's everything. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching.